Today's video, we've got 5 tips to help you become a better hardcore player. Check it out. What's good, street team? It's your boy, No Fame, letting you know that you can still rep his name even while you game. Man, and we're back today, and as I said in the intro, we got tips for you to succeed in hardcore. You say, man, it's the middle of the year, I've been trying to get this thing going, and every time I try it, man, it just doesn't work out. Well, we got 5 tips today, man, and go ahead, check them out. At the end, man, if it helped you out, smash that like, hit the subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bell so you can know when we drop things like this in the future. So without further ado, man, let's just go ahead and drop right into these tips. Tip 1. You gotta realize this is a different game. It's not the same thing as core. People run down different lanes. They play it differently. If you're playing team deathmatch, you're gonna camp infinitely more. You die quicker. So people are less willing to go out there and be courageous on different things. And so you gotta realize that this is just a different game than core. It's not the same. And if you try and play it the same, man, it's probably why you're here now. So, tip number 1, it's a different game, and you gotta realize and accept it. Tip number 2, get your best weapon, because you're gonna need it. Now, the reason why you're gonna need it is because the gunfights, the gun battles that you had in core, it's not going to be the same thing in hardcore. In core, if you got a stronger weapon, you could fight this guy and face him head up, and maybe it only takes you 4 rounds to kill him. It takes him 6 rounds to kill. Nah, man, not in hardcore. In hardcore, man, especially at them close range battles, normally about 2 to 3 shots, no matter what weapon you have, is going to do it. So maybe it's not the best idea for you to run out there with the crossbow and then be trying to run and gun. Because you're going to shoot that first shot, man. And if you come up on 2 people, which you almost always do, you're going to die. So you got to get your best weapon, man, whether that's the M4, whether that's the MP5, whether it's a shotgun, whatever it is, man. Don't worry about what anybody else is going to say, man. You're trying to get a high KD. And the only way you do that is by getting the weapon you're most familiar with. So, tip number 2, best weapon. You're going to need it. All right, so tip number 3 involves your best loadout. Now, I'm going to tell you, man, we talked about getting your best weapon. Let's say, man, you got different scenarios, because I'd like to set up my different classes and my different loadouts for maybe different scenarios. This top one is ultimate. That's when I'm going to get really sweaty, when I really want to get into it. I think the M4 is still best weapon on the game. But let's look at this loadout. As you can see when I go into it, man, I got the M4 just the way I want it. I always rock with some sort of suppressor just because it still keeps you off that compass, which is important. Some people don't care, so you don't have to, because a lot of people aren't looking at the compass. They've changed the way it looks. But when we're talking about best loadout, I got this boy. It's ready to go. It's ready for quick kills. 60 round mags, man. That is a lot of ammunition for hardcore, because normally in about 2 shots, depending upon how close they are, they're gonna die, especially if you get some headshots. But you got a lot of ammo, and that's the point of this one. The secondary on this one, I'm running a peeler, but a lot of times, man, as you can see on some of these other classes, I am running secondary a pistol, because that pistol will get you some quick kills, because you'll need to switch, because it's much faster to be able to switch than it would be for you to try and reload a weapon. You're going to die, and it'll be terrible for you to try and get through and get that good KD that you're trying to get to. And you guys have seen this on plenty of videos, man. My perks that I run, I always run cold-blooded and ghost. Sometimes I may want to look at, overkill, but primarily, or maybe even hardline. I've done some restock for some things if I want to keep throwing stuff out, but ghost is a favorite. And then depending upon if I want to chase people around, a lot of times I might use tracker or shrapnel, because I like having 2 frags. But this thing is set up for success in hardcore. You can see the smoke grenade there, but that's for when I'm trying to scope up to get those mounted kills. It's much easier if you throw smoke out there, especially because you're going to die quickly. But you can see here the loadouts are set up for hardcore, for being able to get quick kills. I'm using my best weapons in a lot of these scenarios. You see here the MP5, and so and then I got the Strutter on there because I need to work that boy. You got to get to Damascus by getting it all, but you got to make sure that your loadouts are set up for success in hardcore. So that's tip number 3. Make sure your loadout is top notch. Tip number 4 is you got to slow down. Now, in the background, man, you'll see some clips, man. The cats just running around, man, running through corners. You see that guy, man, jumping over the thing, and even I run through without checking things. But it's not just about you moving slow. In the Army, man, we got a saying, man, that slow is fast and fast is smooth. And that was just to mean this, is that you got to be careful and take things at a slower pace in order to be really good and proficient at what you're supposed to be doing. Now, within some of this gameplay, you'll see, man, you'll see guys doing stuff that you just can't do in hardcore, because you're not going to be able to just jump around corners and eat bullets like you did in core. In hardcore, man, like I said, a couple bullets, you're going to be down. So you got to slow down. You got to know your routes. I mean, because you'll see me moving fast, but you see me checking certain corners. And maybe sometimes, man, letting people go ahead of me, because, you know, they'll be your bullet catchers. But you got to watch out for what you're doing, because when you don't, you die. So tip number 4 is to slow down. And now for tip number 5. Tip number 5 is kill streaks. Now listen, if you put everything else together, man, you made sure that you realized this was a different game. You went ahead and got your best weapon because you knew you were going to need it. You went ahead and made sure your loadout was clutch. Man, you took your time, you slowed down. Now you got to put the cherry on top with the kill streaks, man. Now, you're going to say, what's the difference between this and the other one? This one, you want to make sure that you're putting down kill streaks that not only benefit you, that they don't kill you in the process or hurt your other teammates. That white phosphorus, your teammates can't run through that, man. You could use things like the Wilson, man. As you can see, man, my favorite too, man, that VTOL, because it's normally guaranteed to kill your other teammates, and this chopper gunner, man. I use also a UAV because those things help, but you want to get kill streaks that improve the amount of kills that you get. So, you can see in the background, man, the chopper gunner and the VTOL, they do just that. So tip number 5, make sure you got the right kill streaks loaded. I'm telling you, man, it'll be the difference between you having just a good KD and a great KD. If you check out and watch the end of this one, man, you'll see I think I ended up going 30-2 in this game. That thing is attributed to me having the right kill streaks loaded. Now, as a bonus tip, man, tip number 6, I said I give you 5, I give you number 6, especially if you stayed this long, man. Make sure that you're having fun. It's a game after all, man. So no matter what you do, even if you're getting sweaty, have fun. It's your boy No Fame, man. Make sure you drop that like and subscribe, and I'll holler back at you in the next video. All right, bet.
Shit, that was my video.
No Fame.